My first year, I struggled. I struggled finding that balance. There were weeks that operating off of 2 to 3 hours a night of sleep. In December of my first year, my wife put me aside as well. She said, "You're changing."
Wow. Somebody just got free by watching that. No lie. The top 5 principals, including yourself, in South Carolina.
I don't know, man. I don't. No. I'm not. So I'm not running from it. I'm definitely not running from it.
Well, what is up, family? I am here with a extremely special guest. Somebody who served in my hometown. He's not from my hometown, sadly to say. But, man, this guy's an incredible leader. He's a principal now. He's been a coach. He's been a mentor and still is a mentor to a lot of people. None other than Dr. Reynard Jefferson. My brother, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just a quick correction. Not the doctor yet. I'm working on it. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. But no, speak it, man.
We speaking it.
Speak it. Yes, sir.
Super cool.
I'm good, man. I'm good. And I appreciate you, as always, reaching out. I know we did this a few years back, face to face, when I was an AP at Kingsbury. So yeah, definitely good to be back in the space with you, man.
For sure. And speaking of Kingsbury, of elementary school leadership, man, why elementary school? Like, you could go to middle or go to high school, you can go to college. Like, why the babies? Why the little kids?
For me, and I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, it's almost like laying that foundation for them. I think at this age, they are sponges and they're easily moldable. You can still mold them in middle school and in high school, but I think at this age, it is so much easier to mold them and to go ahead and put, some more goodness in them. They're innocent. At this age, most of them are very, very pure. And so it just gives me an opportunity to put some things in them along with their parents, just to give them a strong foundation for their educational future, but just also just kind of helping them become good people, good citizens. And so putting it in them while they're young. And in all honesty, man, it's in elementary school, you get like a superstar status. Walking the halls, everybody wants to hug you, everybody wants to give you a high five. It just feels good. It's a good fit.
Most definitely. That's super cool. And I've definitely experienced seeing you be put up as that superstar, even as an AP, not even as a principal at that time, and how much those kids loved you and adored you, and how, man, they wrote you letters. And yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. But, man, if every student at your school could learn this one lesson, man, what would that lesson be and why?
For me and for the kids at my school, and I say it every single day on the morning news show, is just be kind. I think that goes so far with the way that they treat their peers, the way that they treat their teachers, the way that they treat their parents, and most importantly, the way they treat themselves. I never end the morning news show without basically saying, hey, find something that you can do today for somebody. You're not looking for anything in return. You're just trying to spread some joy. And for me, that would be the biggest thing that they can learn, is just learn how to be kind, learn how to help people that are around them. And I think that it'll make the school a better place, and it'll trickle down and end up making the community a better place in itself. People, kids, adults go through a lot of different things. And I shared this with them. I said, everybody doesn't speak about what they're going through.
Yep.
Somebody may have had a rough night. They may have had a rough morning. The last thing they need is to step in this building and for you to tear them down further. So you have two options, and these are my expectations. You can leave somebody alone completely, or you can build them up, but we're not going the other way to tear them down. And over the 2 years that I've been here, it's starting to soak in. I'm watching them and I'm seeing them doing things. And initially they would do it and they would immediately come to me and say, hey, I did something kind. And now they're just doing it as second nature. So it's definitely a beautiful thing to see that.
Wow. A culture of kindness is definitely needed, not only at your school, but every school across the nation. I want to ask you about your personal experiences with displaying kindness, because it has to start as a practitioner of the message. you employ your students and your staff to actually do. In
Mhm.
what ways on a consistent basis do you exude kindness to staff, students,
Mhm.
family? What does that look like in your life? How do you achieve it? And what are some of the stumbling blocks that kind of halt you from achieving it at times?
Well, I'll definitely start with the stumbling blocks. It's tough just because we're human and we have human emotions, and people get you upset, people make you mad, people
Yeah.
don't reach the expectation that you want them to reach, and naturally you want to get an attitude, you want to shun them, you want to stay away from them, you want to give them some select words. But what I found is that you can still correct people, you can redirect people, but you can do it in a way that's kind. For my staff, it's so many different ways that I'm intentional about making sure that not necessarily kind, but that I'm being a human to them.
Hmm.
So for us, every Sunday night, I send out a check-in email. Basically, how are you feeling this week? And it gives them a scale where they can select different things, and then they can type in, "Hey, I'm going through something. Can you
Wow.
check in with me Monday morning just so we can talk and we can kind of set the tone for the week?" And so
Wow.
I do that just to let them know that they're not just robots. Like, I don't want you just to come in here, teach the kids, and go home. I want to make sure that you're good, because if you're not good, the classroom's not going to be good, and the
Yeah.
kids are not going to get what they need.
Wow.
Um, Basic conversations, checking in with them. Hey, how's your husband doing? How's your wife? How are your kids? I know
Yeah.
you guys had something going on this weekend. How did that go? And not being fake about it. Genuinely checking in with them when they're going
Yeah.
through something,
Yeah.
writing them a note, sending them a card, giving them flowers when they have milestones or when they have traumatic experiences in their family.
Yeah.
But just letting them know that I'm here for them on the human side. For my kids, it looks so many different ways because our kids come with so many different things. For me, it's important for me to be one of the first things that they see in the morning, and so I'm very intentional about being at the bus port at 6:55. Buses come at
Come
7.
on.
I need to be there for two reasons. I want you to see a smiling face, and I want you to see somebody that's excited to see you on a daily basis. But I
Yep.
also want to get eyes on you so that I can get on the front end of some issues that you may have.
Yep.
I try to get to know the kids. And so if you're coming off and you're moving different, hey, stand over here, let's chit chat, because I don't want you to go in the building and get in trouble. And just being there and trying to be as personable as I can with them. It's 500 kids, and so it's hard to get hands on each one. But a simple, hey, who did your hair? Who gave you your haircut? Where'd you get your shoes from? How's your mom doing? That goes a long way for a kid because they actually feel seen, and
Yep.
that's not the reality for them in every arena that they go into.
One of the things that stuck out just now that you said that I've never heard is the Sunday night email check-in. Is that something that you got from somebody else, or is
Oh,
this some?
oh yeah. Let
Okay.
me tell you one thing about education, man.
Hmm.
It's not too much that's going to be new. It's
Okay.
just how you use it. And I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he is a principal in South Carolina. I saw him at the Get Your Teacher On conference, and that was one thing that really, really stood out to me. And it's a simple Microsoft form. And when I say it made a huge difference with the staff,
Hmm.
insane. And now on my end, I have to make sure that I go in and I check it on Monday morning so I can
Yeah.
see. Because the
Yeah.
last thing I would want is for somebody to say, "Hey, I had a horrible weekend. Can you come see me?" And now it's Wednesday and they're down there drowning. So I have to make
Hmm.
sure that I'm checking it. But it's yeah, that's not my idea. That's not anything that I came up with. But I am so consistent about doing it. It's really important for me to check in with them.
And that's powerful that you received something that could be helpful and you're actually instituting it, even at your
Mhm.
inconvenience. Sunday is not a work day. But
It's not
as
a
I
work day at
know
all.
from a lot of friends in education, that there are really no off days. You're really working every single day. Now, the question is, how do you balance maintaining a level of self-care and sanity
Mhm.
while also serving at a high level? What does that balance look like? Or is balance irrelevant and it's about rhythms? Like, talk to me about that.
I like how you put that. I like how you put that it's about rhythm. So I'm gonna approach the balance side first. Balance
Hmm.
is extremely important. And
Hmm.
I'll tell you this, this is in life, in
Hmm.
education and admin. It takes time to find that perfect balance. And
Hmm.
it's definitely difficult when you're going into a new position or you're stepping into a new season. You're not going to automatically have that balance like that. I'll be honest with you and with everybody else that's listening. My first year, I struggled. I struggled finding that balance. As a new leader, you want people to, perceive you as someone who knows what they're doing.
Yep.
And so it's hard to turn it off. And so there were weeks that I, operating off of 2 to 3 hours a night of sleep because I'm constantly thinking, what can I do to make things better? What can I do to make things better? I want my hand in everything because I want things to go right.
Yep.
But you end up seeing yourself falling off, and you end up seeing that, hey, I'm not at my best self when I'm doing this. A couple things helped me to find my balance. I've had great executive directors, and in our district, our supervisors are our executive director. Then it goes to the superintendent. So we work, directly under the executive directors, and they will, pull you aside and have conversations with you. And one of them pulled me aside and said, "Hey, you have to take the Superman cape off. Like, you're not going to be able to do it. You're doing it now, but that's a recipe for disaster. You're going to lose yourself. You're going to end up losing, losing the belief of your staff. And you could possibly end up, damaging your family because you are on the go." In December of my first year, my wife pulled me aside as well. She said, "You're changing." She said, "I'm not going anywhere, but I feel a shift in home. You're doing your thing at the school, but I feel a shift in home.
Wow.
And we may need to take a step back to see what that can look like to make sure that you're not doing a great job at the school and falling off at home." And so having people around you to have those conversations is very, very important. And the thing when I really got a good balance is when I became a little bit better at delegating, trusting the people around you, giving them clear expectations, checking in with them, but just allowing them to do it. And you got to trust them.
Bro.
Go ahead, man.
Hey, yo, somebody just got free. Somebody just got free by watching that. No lie. When you share the level of vulnerability, my guy, when you share, hey, in December, my first year, wifey pulled me aside. Man, and you do know, know how many men are operating at a high level in their career, but they are private failures?
Mm-hmm.
They are achieving revenue, fame, recognition, but their home life is in shambles, and wifey is crying out for help, and they say, "You want this money though? You want this lifestyle
though?"
It's
not worth the risk. It's not worth the risk, man.
And
I'm not perfect at all, but they are my priority. And I told her that going in, you and Sage are my priority. I want to do great at this. I love this, and I want to keep moving up the ladder. But I'm not gonna do it if you have to be on the back end and you get the rest of me and not the best of me. That's not my quote. That's my AP. She shares it all the time. Majoria Pearson, shout out to P. She shares it all the time. Stop giving school the best of you and giving your family the rest of you. You got to find a balance, man.
Who says that?
Majoria Pearson. It's actually Nick Pearson is his sister-in-law. Wow. She's our assistant principal here, and she pours into me, man, a lot. And I definitely couldn't do the work that I'm doing here, without her.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you for that insight. I think transitioning a little bit, because you've now showed yourself tried and true, being able to do those healthy rhythms, showing your wife, hey, I will not idolize this, right, at the expense, or idolize it at all, but operate at a high level at the expense of our relationship and taking care of home. Man, how do you build relationships and trust and credibility in the homes of the parents of those kids? What are some of the ways in which you say, hey, I do have your son, I do have your daughter, I do have their best interests? What are those things you do?
Initially, it's being visible. When I first got here, I wanted to meet with the parents just to see what their needs were. And from conversations that I had, it was, they always love the school, and it's always been a great place, but they wanted to come into the school more to see what was going on. And so I pretty much, let the doors swing open. Of course, you have to come in and sign in, and, we'll make sure we're safe on that point. But I'm not hiding anything, and I want to be transparent. So if you want to come in and have lunch, you want to come in and sit in the classroom to see what's going on, come in and see what we're doing. And I let them know, hey, we're not perfect, but we are going to make sure that we're doing what's best for your kid. And just having real conversations with them, telling them things that they may not necessarily want to hear, but
Yeah,
letting them know at the end of that conversation that it's coming from a place of love.
yeah,
It's difficult calling parents, especially parents of students who may, be on that high end for behavior and the lower end for academics. They don't hear, they don't get good phone calls often. And so, one, calling them randomly and letting them know something good that their kid did, that'll automatically change their perspective and get you on their side. And they'll tell you, my kid's been in school for 4 years. Nobody has ever told me anything positive about my kid. And
wow,
so once they see that, and then just getting them and having those real conversations, hey, this is what's going on. This is not a reflection of you as a parent. It's not even a reflection of the kid. They're growing, they make mistakes, but I'm going to reprimand him. He's going to have consequences, but I'm going to give him a fresh slate when he comes back. And I'll make sure that I have some things in place to be more preventative
mm,
instead of, waiting until something happens. But it's good for them to see our human side as well. Just let them know that we're not perfect, apologizing when we make mistakes, and just being real with them.
mm. Man, in that same regard, man, how do you balance desiring the kids to have this academic achievement while also equipping them with the social emotional um, things necessary to achieve it, and as
Mhm.
well as kind of helping some families who have an additional need
Mhm.
financially? What are some of the things you do in that regard?
So for us here, and I did a presentation as an assistant principal, and when I started it, it was frowned upon. By the time I finished it, they understood where I was coming from, and so they were talking to us about how we change a school around, or how we get a school to operate at a more effective level. And it was a group of us, and everyone in that group started with academics, academics, academics. We're going to put in reading program, put in math programs, tutoring programs. I didn't start that way. I started mine with making sure that we have a climate and a culture where the students feel safe, where they feel seen, where they can express themselves without a fear of being judged. And then going from that to behaviors and then to academics. Because you can have the best curriculum in the world, you can have the best teachers. If the kids don't feel safe, if everybody's running across the classroom, teacher can be teaching their behind off in the front. Nobody's learning anything because it's too chaotic. And so it is very important for me to make them feel safe. We have community meetings every morning after the morning news show for 10 minutes. And that is time where teachers, it's a circle on the carpet and you check in. The same way I check in with them, they're checking in with the kids. How are you feeling today? Anybody have anything they need to get off their chest? Is anybody going through anything today that may make them a little off, so that I'll know you're not just, brushing me off, but you really have something going on. We have our school counselors, we have our behavior interventionists, and we know what kids to check in on without them even saying anything. And so we try to get on the front end of that and just go walk the building in the morning before 8:30, try to get eyes on everybody just to see how they're feeling.
Mhm.
What was the second? The second half of that question was kind of the less privileged
Mhm.
students.
Mhm.
Um, we try not to focus on it here, but we do a lot of different things for them to where they feel like the playing field is even between them and every other school across the district.
Mhm.
We do a lot of we get a lot of donations from our community partners, from anything from school supplies to clothes
Mhm.
to toiletries, and we make sure that that stuff is stocked here at school. We also do a really good job of having people from the community come in and just to talk to the kids about certain things.
Mhm.
But probably two of our biggest, um, I don't want to use the word factors, two of our biggest initiatives are we have hairstylists and barbers that come in on a regular basis, not to make anything flashy, but just to help kids with some of the basic things that kids across town may get, and they
Yep.
may not get an opportunity to sit in a salon or sit in a barber shop. So they come in, and we get them done up quick so they can get back to class and get back to the instruction. But that has done a really good job building the confidence of the kids and also letting the parents know that we have their backs.
Mm. Hey, like that prom quote says, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel
When you
good,
look
you play
good,
good.
it's real. And I want to do a study one day, man. I want to do a study of looking at somebody's achievement or athletic ability without a haircut versus with a haircut. Everything is better with a fresh cut, man.
Yep.
Everything is better with a fresh cut. And it's
Most
the same
definitely.
for girls when they get their hair done. You
Hmm.
look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. And I stand behind that. And
Most
we have
definitely.
data to show that is working.
Most definitely. Most
Yeah.
definitely. Man, in closing, the last two questions I know. Listen, he is taking time out of his day right now as a principal to give us this game and these gems and this insight. So please take full advantage. This is a free PD for you. You know what I'm saying? If you're a principal. But man, personally, man, when it's all said and done, what do you want your legacy to be as a principal? How do you want people to remember what you've done and who you are?
I'm gonna put it in one word, man. Love. I just want to leave a legacy of love. I don't, I you know me well enough. I try to shy away from the limelight. I never do this for me. I never want somebody to say, "Oh, Jefferson School is doing well," or "He's doing this." I want it to be about the school, and I want it to be about the
Mm-hmm.
kids. But if anything, and I'm seeing it now. This is year 17 for me. But I just want to leave a legacy of love. When you stop by the school, when Brandon and Andrea stop by the school, when I see any of my old players come by, just to say thank you and kind of drop some things that I may not have known what I was saying back then, but it made a big difference in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, just simple things like that. If I can get stopped in the grocery store every now and then and say, "Hey, I was going through a rough patch when I was in the third grade, but you pulled me in your office and let me vent one day, and that made all the difference." It's just a small things like that. Like I do want them to be extremely strong academically. I want them to be able to function, but I want them to feel love, and I
Mm-hmm.
want them to pass that love on to other people. I just want to leave a legacy of love.
I think you embody what the best-selling book of all time says when it talks about, man, the greatest among you will be your servant. It says if
Mm-hmm.
you exalt yourself, you will be humble. But if you humble yourself, you will be exalted.
Mm-hmm.
It also says, man, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to
Come
your
on,
own
man.
interests, but to the interest of others. I believe wholeheartedly, Doc, that you represent that, which is
Mm-hmm.
why people love to go out of their way to, man, put you on their platform, to tell you
Mm-hmm.
thank you, right? To get insight from you because, like you said, you don't do it for yourself. You do it for the service of others. And I believe that is greatness. Greatness is the ability to add value to others through selfless service. And my
Mm-hmm.
friend, you are a great individual, man. Listen, it was an honor. It was a privilege. And I can't wait to see how you continue to elevate as a principal, as a community leader, as a future county councilman, as the president of the United States. Hey man, whatever the Lord has for you, man. Listen, don't quench it.
Yeah.
Don't quench it. We see you going above and beyond. Not to say that what you're doing is small in any way. We need principals who have a heart of service. And so if you stay
Mm-hmm.
there, that's fire. We need you. But if you desire to go, you know, to public office, we will support you. You have my
I'm
vote,
gonna
my
listen
brother.
to him. I'm gonna listen to him, and I'm gonna be where he needs me to be and stay where he needs me to stay as long as he's saying it. But when he says go,
Yeah,
then I'll pack up and I'll see what the next chapter holds for me.
for sure, for sure. But man, in closing, do you have anything you want to say? Any words of wisdom? Anything that you like? Oh, he didn't ask me this question, but I want to touch on that.
No, you
Now's your
cool,
floor.
man. I just this ain't all me. I've had so many great people around me. I've been in so many great schools. Just want to give all my schools a shout out. Started out at Chestnut Oaks Middle School,
Mhm.
Sumter High School, Kingsbury Elementary, Annie Burnside Elementary, and now at Watkins-Nance Elementary School. The C.A. Johnson cluster over here in Columbia is doing great things. I won't say that it's a cluster that's forgotten about, but the last few years we have not been, on the radar. But Carver Line Elementary, Watkins-Nance Elementary, W.A. Perry Middle School, and C.A. Johnson High School, we're all doing great things. And I just can't wait to show the rest of the state what a gem we have over here. We look at the demographics and the area, and people may not, think the highest, but it's some great things, some very, very resilient students and resilient families. And if they can go through what they're going through and come here and perform the way that they perform, I can't wait to see them get out into the real world because they're really going to be some special individuals. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to y'all just for allowing me to be on this platform for one. But even back in the day when y'all were in high school, just letting me drop nuggets and, helping me to mold myself, to craft my skills and to fall in love with being an educator.
We appreciate you, man. And I do want to put you on the hot seat really quickly.
What's up,
I
man?
do. I know this. Listen, you are not prepared for this. You may not be prepared for this. But man, in South Carolina, the top 5 principals, including yourself, in South Carolina. Top 5 principals.
I don't know, man. I don't. No. I'm not. So I'm not running from it. I'm definitely not running from it. D, when I say I stay in my bubble, man. When I stay in my bubble. Shout out to Ross. Ross created a group with Black male educators and administrators, and so I'm definitely in there. I will put him on there just because he's given us an opportunity to go in and talk and get support on a nightly basis. We can drop something in the chat, and you have a full discussion board right there. I haven't been to his school, but everybody sees the great things that he's doing. So I'll definitely put him on there. She's not a principal anymore, but my former principal from Burnside, Dr. Felicia Richardson, just a fearless leader, someone who has extremely high expectations and just a different way of thinking. She definitely instilled some things in me that helped me to get to where I am. Other former principal, Dr. Campbell, who just had a belief in me and kind of let me do my thing without putting any bars on me, just allowed me to be who I am and not try to change me. Shout out to Nick Pearson, man. Shout out to Nick. Mr. Cool, man. Nick kind of showed me that you don't have to be the type of individual to rip and run the building. You can still be fly, but also be effective. Just seeing him move, that quiet confidence, that was extremely helpful for me when I was a PE teacher at Sumter High. Watching him and the way he moved, that kind of put some things in my head, like, hey, I may be able to move into this arena as well. Coach Fuller, man. I'm sorry, Dr. Samuel Fuller. Coach put a lot in me. Yep. Watching him move and his professionalism and the way that he handled things, and to see the great things that he's doing in Aiken right now, definitely stand out to me. And we don't talk often, but I read a lot of his posts and I watch the way that he moves. And I remember small things that he told me when I first started coaching at Sumter that I still use to this day to help me to grow professionally. Yeah.
Listen, that was a trap question because I know without a shadow of a doubt that principals are so locked in on bringing value to their students. They're not casually watching other individuals in the industry. So thank you for even answering that. Hey, y'all might give me in the comments for trapping him like that. He answered it. He did well. But next time I may frame that. I'm talking to Dr. Pearson a little later. I may frame that a little differently. So I appreciate you for still answering that. But Doc, man, any additional shout outs you would like to give to those that have sacrificed for you that you love, man? Now's the time.
Definitely earlier I talked about how my wife kind of got me back on track, but I know for a fact I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for a family. Come from a family of educators. My mom, God rest her soul, before she passed, she was an elementary educator. My dad had over 30 years in Lee County. Also taught in Sumter and in Somerton. And my sister has been teaching for over 20 years as well. And so as a kid, watching them and the way that they helped people, the way that they loved people, the way that they taught people, and the way that, the way that they moved, that definitely showed me at an early age that I wanted to do this. And they poured into me for that. At first dad was like, do you want to do anything other than education? But it's in the blood. And so just a huge shout out to them for showing me how it's supposed to be done, showing me how to treat people, and helping me become who I am. And I'm not there yet, still growing every day, but just want to give them a shout out.
Man, thank you again. I pray you have an amazing day. And listen, I hope you guys were blessed. Please don't be a hearer of all this great wisdom and not apply it. You may already do some of these things, but if you don't have some of these things in your tool belt, don't be afraid to add them, because as he said, it has worked for him. And if it's worked for him, it could potentially work for you. So love you guys. Until next time. Peace.
Hey family, are you in the need of a speaker or host at your next event? If that is the case, I am your guy.
Duane Kyles is the guy.
He was amazing.
Everybody needs to hear for how amazing he is.
Words that he brought today is very powerful.
He was phenomenal.
He made me a better man, honestly.
I would be the best student in my classroom. I would be the best version of myself.
I recommend Duane Kyles to come to your school, to talk to your student population, to motivate them, get them engaged.
I don't know how to describe it, but he like connected to the audience, and I liked it.
If you're looking for somebody to come and transform the lives of middle school, high school students, Duane Kyles is the guy.
We want him to come back and speak to the whole entire district, not just one school. We want all schools to hear him, and all administrators, teachers, parents, scholars, everybody needs to hear for how amazing he is.
So you must ask yourself in this moment, when people think about you, what is associated with your name? How do you want to be remembered? What type of legacy do you want to leave here at this school?